What up? What up? What up? I'm watching. My bag. I was texting somebody. Watching Blunt Mover play fucking. He said he playing Terminator or something. About to do my goddamn hair. What? Uh, I left my spray upstairs. Damn it. Alright, let me go grab this spray real quick. Just realized I left that shit.
Connected to FBI wiretap.
FBI wiretap. That shit tripped me the fuck out. So I use the Rasta lock twist, Jamaican mango and lime. So it's the lock and set spray lotion. So I spray this shit on there, and then I use the locking firm wax, real Jamaican beeswax with honey, with some honey in there. And this shit takes forever. So here we go. Mmm. Mmm. That lotion. So it's good. How is your, what is it, Sunday? How is your Sunday going? Oh man. I've been in the fucking shit, that's what the towel's for. Damn it. I've been in a constant rebuttal with like 6 or 7 different people for the past 2 days over a Facebook comment I made dire- directed specifically towards working on the lunch break. Damn. You know how it be. That's what it takes to be in charge though, you know? When you in charge, you don't really get breaks. You know what I'm saying? You don't get like a break. You get a minute. Motherfucker be like, just give me a minute. Like that's all you get is that minute. Hurry up, man, get back to work. I just need a minute. Okay, you got that. A minute. Now you're done. But yeah, this Facebook post that I made is ooh. And I did it purposely to fuck with people. I knew it would get like some type of feedback, but it's like motherfuckers. I wouldn't even have imagined would like make comments start just making comments on that shit. Like whoa, but man, you don't get no break. But that shit is funny though. They be like, Trap, who do your hair? I'm like, man, I do my own hair. What do you mean who do my hair? Oh. There was just some shit about religious people, man. I told her, man, if you make religious posts all the time, just take yourself off my friends list. Yo. I'm tired of seeing all these religious posts all the time. That's all I said, yo. Then I got family members talking about, oh, I'ma still love you no matter what. Like, bruh, I wasn't expecting you not to love me over fucking social media. This is it's social media, bruh. Like we know each other in real life. Like we know each other in real life. Like what the fuck does this mean? Like I don't care to see your post about that shit. And if you're not the person, I don't give a fuck if you are like uber religious. That shit don't matter to me. But don't make the silly ass post like somebody asked me to explain myself, and I was like, the people who make posts like it's somebody holding a wad of cash or stacks of money on the table and it's like type amen and this blessing will be yours. Like, look, the shit doesn't fucking work like that. That's not how it works. Don't make dumbass posts like that. I get tired of seeing these shits all the time. Oh, copy and paste if you love God. Like, no, stop it. Like, Jesus and God don't work through the fucking Facebook shit, yo. Like that's not how shit fucking goes. The whole shit is weird as fuck to me to start with all the religious shit, and then for you to make posts like that, like don't scroll down without typing amen. Like, what the fuck is that supposed to do? Like, if I really sit here and type amen post, like, what will that do? Like, just stop that shit. If you do that, like, just take yourself off my friends list. I'm so tired of seeing that shit, man. And there's so many people who post that shit all the time, and like, and then I even made another comment like, look, I'm not unfriending any of you fuckers, yo. I'ma just unfollow you. Is that better? Is your feelings less hurt now that we're still friends on social media? I just don't have to follow your post about somehow God came through for you and helped you pay your light bill. Like, nah, nigga, that's not how reality works, What up, yo? But then so many people just like, oh, I love you and Jesus. I'm like, what does our relationship have to do with your religion? Like, you don't have to reinforce the fact that you still care about me just because I don't care about your religion or care to be subjected to your idiotic religious posts. Like, stop saying that. And I get it. And then people are like, Well, you post stuff about atheism. Yeah, I do post stuff about atheism. But it's not, I don't say, oh, do something, with this post and you'll believe or you'll understand. The post my post don't instruct you to do some dumb weird shit. Like, it's just a post. It's there. You can look at it or you don't. But it definitely doesn't like instruct you to do something to receive like some blessings or some shit like that. I don't know. I find those posts really really awkward, and people who do it, and it's like, why? You guys really know that real life doesn't work like that. Every time you see that shit and you type amen, like, I don't get it. It seems uh, idiotic at worst, childish at best. But gotta catch all that new growth. And so this conversation has been going on for like 2 days, and now I have like private message threads with like 4 different people who wanted to get more in depth with it and have a more in depth private conversation about it. Yo, what up, sir? I'm just trying to get over this cold, guys. My nose is still fucking stuffy as shit.
Let's see.
But like I say, man, people.
All right, I've got everything.
I understand why people believe, and I can even put myself in the mind frame of a believer, because honestly, on either side, you just don't know. That's the bottom line.
Colin, can you hear me? Colin.
Freestyle right now. Oh my God, why you want to put me on the spot? Cause you know my bars are hot. Man, you tripping and I'm not. I put my hair in knots. Ooh, cause I got long ass dreads. Yeah, and they're hanging on my head. Man, you understand what I said? Ooh, I ain't even got no beat. This nigga say freestyle right now. Cause I put my hair in knots. Yeah. Got dreads on my head. And them shits hanging long. I can't do it. Oh. Cause I put my hair in knots. Ooh. This is where I need a beautician. But I don't be trusting people with my hair, yo. I ain't gonna lie. I've been doing my hair so long, like I done went to a beautician like twice. And just laying back, you really can't see what they doing, but I can feel what they doing. Like, bitch, you ain't doing that shit no different than I do it, except they use, like, other people use clips when they twist it and they just clip that shit down. And they probably use like different products, but you do the same shit, man. You know what? I can do that shit my damn self. at home for free. How do you wash your hair? With shampoo and water, motherfucker. How you wash your hair? Is it hard to do that? Is it hard to wash your hair, bitch? Who the fuck is Joe? Got one of them ski names. That's probably why I don't know who he is. And he has the perfect name to play hockey. Just like Gretzky, Rakowski, Pavelski. Why these motherfuckers like to play hockey, yo? That's how you can tell who is the real dominant slave owners too. Like when you look at black people's names, we have like really kind of like basic British and English last names. Like we don't be having no motherfucking no Polish and no motherfucking Irish last names. Like you don't hardly meet black people who got a last name that's something like Pavlowski or some shit. That shit just don't happen, yo. But you meet a lot of Smiths and Johnsons and Browns and shit like that, yo. Andersons. You can tell what they got their last name from. You don't meet no black dude last name O'Mallory or no shit like that. O'Brien. Like you don't meet black people with names like that, yo. That shit is weird though. Support him for what though? He came home from where? Prison? Motherfucker was locked up or something?
A garage.
Hey man, I don't support criminals, man. I don't support criminals. Where he came home from? Oh, he came to visit. Oh. Well, congratulations. My man ain't forget where he came from. Know what I'm saying? Came to show some love to his hometown after making it in the NHL. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. Some people get too big and Hasidity for their hometown. I know dudes from my hometown. I know this one dude, man. He tried to make it in the music business. This motherfucker moved to Florida and started telling people he was from Florida. Like, bro, just because you live in Florida now, that don't mean you from Florida, bro. You not from Florida. You from right here, homie. And another dude I know, he moved to Atlanta. I started telling people he from Atlanta. Like, you're not from Atlanta, dude. We know where you're really from. So you're a big hockey fan, huh? Oh, I could do better. Why does this take so long? I got too many dreads, yo. I be trying to like double them up and make them thicker so I don't have as many. In a couple years, I'm gonna only have like 20 dreads or something. I have way too many right now. They were thinner than this. I've had somebody ask, is that my real hair? Is that your real hair? Like, no, bitch, I wear a dread wig all the fucking time. Just never take my fucking dread wig off. Is that my real hair? The fuck kind of... What? And no, you can't touch it. Oh, come on. I swear, bro. You remember the last job I had? Yo, I had a fucking dude do that shit, yo. White dude. Grab one of my dreads. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? He's like, oh, I've never touched like hair like that before. Like, yo, don't fucking touch my shit, dude. What the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, my bag, my bag. I'm like, no, not your bag, dude. Like, don't fucking touch my hair, bro. He is, I don't know, man. That shit was weird as fuck, yo. Now, I remember the last time a motherfucker tried to touch my hair, yo, I was at the damn art supply store. And the goddamn, a lady in line behind me. No, actually, the bitch was in front of me. How that shit was, yo? She was in front of me, but after she paid for her shit, I think she was waiting on somebody else in the store, so she didn't like walk out the fucking store. So she just kind of stepped to the side, and I put my shit at the register. And she was like, it was weird because her actions and her words were going at the same time. She's like, ooh, can I touch your hair? As she's like reaching for my hair, she's asking me as she's reaching for it. And as she's moving in, I'm leaning back like, no. Like, what are you doing? She's like, ooh, can I touch your hair? Like, no. 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 I'm sorry. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, it just looks so soft, is what she said, yo. Well, yeah, it does look soft, doesn't it? That doesn't mean you can fucking just touch that shit, yo. How you asking and reaching at the same fucking time, yo? That shit was too funny. She's reaching for me, like, while she's asking. Awkward. That shit was awkward as fuck, yo. And then the cashier looks at me, like, cause I reeled back. Like, I was disgusted. I don't know. She looked at me like my reaction was wrong. Like, why are you looking at me like I did something weird? You know, like, I just told that bitch, no, don't touch me. I don't know you, lady. Some old ass lady. Man, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. It is soft. But it's long though. That shit is long. And then you twist it, right? Until it gets some tension on it.
Where are you? Can you hear me?
And then when you let the tension loose, it curls up on itself. Like that. All you gotta do is like guide the way it curls up. And then you have a Bantu knot. This shit gets tiresome though, man. My shoulders. Shit. I gotta fix me a bowl of food or something, man. I'm getting hungry. I'm sitting here watching Hey the Terminator play fucking. He has the new Terminator game, and I asked him, I'm like, yo, what game is this? He was like, it's the new Terminator game. I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, like there wasn't a lot of hype about this shit, yo, or a lot of fucking previews. I didn't hear anything about him putting out a fucking Terminator game. I don't even know what fucking studio produced this shit actually. But I did watch the last Terminator movie. I can't remember what's the name of it. Terminator whatever, but in this one it's like they gotta save some Mexican chick. The Terminator stayed behind on Earth after his mission was done, and he trained himself to be a good robot, and now they don't have a Terminator to come save her. They got like some kind of enhanced superhuman who came back, but the other Terminator, he's like the T2 plus 2 or some shit, because he can like melt down into the fucking liquid metal shit like the old T2, but then he can separate himself. Like he can have an endo and exoskeleton. Like the shit was weird how they made that shit do that, but I don't know. This new Terminator can split itself into two separate parts, yo. That shit was crazy. But I didn't know they were putting out a fucking video game. I don't even know if the game coincides with the movie or is it just a standalone story. But the graphics look pretty good on it so far.
Are you all right, Jacob?
Jacob?
Jacob.
Yeah, I mean the last one, like I said, there were so many similar scenes from part 1 and 2 that they just recreated in the movie, and it's like, okay, seeing that already. It really wasn't like any kind of suspense to it or like what's gonna happen. You can almost predict everything that was gonna happen. I don't think I watched the whole Terminator Salvation. That's the one that had Christian Bale in it, or who was in there. I don't think I've seen that whole one.
Hours later, they found me lying in front of her hideout.
I don't know. I think
I made it out
Terminator 2 is the best one for me. T2.
Colin's dead, and the
Hasta
stranger I
la
saw is
vista,
nowhere to be found.
baby.
I told them about everything.
You know what I'm saying?
I said that it wasn't
But
safe.
that's the thing, though. It's
But Jennifer suggested that right now nowhere's safe. So we might as well stick together. Everyone pulled through as we prepared for the worst.
it's just a bunch of remakes and reboots for the last, decade. I mean, they've been remaking and rebooting movies forever, but it's like I'm at that age now where I see like all the movies from my childhood. It's like I'm watching all these shits all over again because motherfuckers can't write better stories or come up with better characters and different universes to explore. So
Did you go with your son?
we're just
As soon as Aaron heard that there's a hospital
we're just
nearby,
stuck watching
Jennifer took
fucking
over for some medicine.
Batman and Superman remakes and
I went alone.
fucking Terminator
But don't tell
remakes
her
and
that,
Jurassic
okay?
Park
She's
remakes
already-
and goddamn Ghostbuster remakes and Ninja
Oh,
Turtle remakes
Ryan
and
wanted to talk to you.
I'm trying to see. The last, I watched The Irishman. That was a good original movie. That's not a remake of anything. That shit was good though. It's long as fuck, but. And I actually live in this fucking area.
I learned all
Like northeast Pennsylvania where all that shit was going on at. Scranton and Pittston. Poconos and all that shit. And like, cause we're not far from New York either. Like, yo, that's the area I live in right now. That shit is crazy. Like, everybody's like, watch the movie. Then I watch it. I'm like, yo, that shit happened around here. Like, oh shit. But then I think about that shit. Like, the last mayor got kicked out of office and went to jail with this motherfucker doing fed time for embezzlement, money laundering, goddamn bribery, all kind of shit, yo. Like, corrupt ass old mob motherfuckers, yo. That mob mentality, that shit's still there, yo. So the mayor went down, and then some of his goddamn staff went down, and a couple other like millionaire business owners went down because they had deals with the mayor on some other shit, yo, like on properties and shit around the city, yo. Like, motherfuckers was toppling over like dominoes, yo. They got like 5 or 6 people up on all different kind of conspiracy charges and shit, yo. Racketeering, everything, yo. That shit was crazy. And then you see that the movie, The Irishman, and it's like, yo, that shit been like that forever around this shit, yo.
We've got a lot to learn. Jacob, thank you for finding him for me. I promise I'll take good care of him. Now, what should I call him?
Nintendo Switch.
Maybe Wolfie?
I don't know about that.
Oh, my phone is about to die.
Huh?
Broforce? Never heard of it.
You wanted to talk to me?
Well, first of all, thanks for bringing me that toolkit. That bus will be ready in no time. Good to see you finally turn the corner. I wanted to talk to you. I'm starting to get worried about Jennifer.
Never heard of Broforce.
Little as possible. You see her out there, send her back, okay?
I did instead of waking you up.
The hell is that shit, man? I gotta look that up real quick. Wait a minute. Let me put me something to eat in the microwave, yo. Cause I'm hungry.
Do you remember Judgment?
I do. Right? I'm that old. My memory ain't as good as it used to be. However, there are some images that stand out. Brother Tucker hitting on this lady guard, people covered in mud. For the life of me, I can't remember the name of that band.
You have a brother.
I did. Older brother. He was a ladies' man. We didn't have tickets to the concert, but he knew how to charm a lady. She let us in. Well, him. I tagged along like I always did. Yeah, it was one of those outdoor festivals. When we got in, we decided to climb this metal tower. Get a better view of the stage, you know. So, as we're watching this band play their hearts out, we see a burst of bright, ugly light. I went blind for a while.
What was it?
Took me a while to understand what I was looking at. Atomic mushroom cloud wasn't something you were ever supposed to see. My bloodshot eyes. The only other thing
You know
I could
what?
see clearly was
I might have seen that shit.
The tower we were clinging on to started shaking. Finally gave in after the shockwave from the explosion. I closed my eyes and it started falling onto the people below. What am I thinking of?
I'm baffled by this conflicting evidence. His prints are all over the crime scene. The TV footage puts him 60 miles away.
A Stephen King novel has been made. What is this? A movie or a TV show? A TV show.
Bursting at the seams with veiny biceps and draped in American flags, Broforce is a love letter to action cinema carved into lead, fired into the corpse of the nearest copy of Contra, and then brought to life via dark magic. Unforgiving but mostly fair, frantic yet tactical, and oozing with 16-bit charm, Broforce is an incredibly confident, refined, unique and content-rich run-and-gun shooter for up to 4 players. The objective of most levels is simple. You just need to blast and or dart your way through several different locations and very literally get to the chopper. This changes slightly as the enemies segue from enemy soldiers to aliens and later again to supernatural nasties, but that's the gist. Broforce's nearly completely destructible environments put a creative twist on proceedings. I found digging tunnels particularly useful during several boss fights. The other smart idea is that every time you die or gain a life in this tough game, you're randomly given a different bro with different weapons and abilities. I often wished I could swap to my preferred bro at will, but making do with the abilities of your given bro is part of the fun. It certainly takes the edge off repeated failures, knowing that every time you'll spawn as a new bro, perhaps better suited to the challenge ahead. The team of bros is large and varied. Rambro, Ramando, B.A. Baracus, the Professional. By now you're probably picking up on the theme. The bros are quick and nimble, and there's a good level of nuance in the controls. My favourite bros are the ones with potent secondary abilities, particularly the JCVD-inspired split-kicking Time Bro, who can slow down time to a crawl. I also really love Broforce's attention to the smaller details of his presentation, and I love the sound even more, in particular the pitch-perfect glam rock guitar score and hilarious enemy squeals. Destruction gets pretty wild with other players involved, so I've actually found myself preferring to play it solo, where you control the pace yourself. There's also a chaotic dedicated deathmatch mode and a slightly intimidating level editor, but if you're too daunted to try that out, you can simply browse through and quickly and easily load community-made levels. Beneath Broforce's chest-thumping, action movie-inspired silliness lies an extremely polished run-and-gun platformer. Simple and reliable, but nuanced and ever-changing thanks to the constantly rotating characters, Broforce is testosteronific. If you could watch Commando on a Super Nintendo, this is what it would look like. For more on Broforce, stick around with IGN.
I'm baffled by this conflicting evidence. His prints are all over the crime scene. The TV footage puts him 60 miles away. I didn't kill that kid, Ralph.
Bro force.
At Farmers Insurance, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even a gold medal grizzly.
I've been looking at games for 2020, but it's weird what they're doing, yo. Like, they're talking about putting out The Last of Us Part 2 in May, and then dropping the PS5 for Christmas. Like, why are you gonna do that when you know you're just gonna come out with a remastered edition for the fucking PS5? Try to make motherfuckers buy that shit twice, yo. And they're talking about, like, what you call it is supposed to come out soon. Cyberpunk. Like, why are you gonna put Cyberpunk out and then put out the PS5? Like,
What to Play presents the 25 most anticipated upcoming PlayStation 4 games for 2020 and beyond.
Is this guy invincible or something?
Dragon Ball Z,
Not working at all.
Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Farewell, Kakarot.
The next iteration of the famed anime franchise takes you to a grand open world where you can relive the key moments of the Dragon Ball series.
Majin Buu, huh?
An untenable and fearsome Majin.
Majin Buu's coming out! Kakarot not only introduces a sprawling fantasy world to explore, it injects its own RPG elements to deliver a completely new Dragon Ball experience.
All right now, since I'm the fusion of Vegeta and Kakarot, I guess that makes me Vegeta.
Still embracing their fighting game genre, select from a wide roster of iconic Dragon Ball characters and watch them clash their power levels together as it comes out this 17th of January. Gods and Monsters. Ubisoft continues their voyage into mythical lands with this brand new open world IP from the creators of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Step into a now desolate Earth after a devastating attack from the Titan Typhoon. Journey through its gorgeous realm full of mythical creatures, magical beasts, and a sense of wonder reminiscent to Nintendo's Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Say that shit look like
We've only got
Zelda,
one revealed trailer as of the moment. It is not showing much, but we're looking forward to this fresh adventure as it comes out this February 25th, 2020.
Okay, Sony trying to make their own Zelda game.
You led us on a merry chase, Aerith.
Final Fantasy VII Remake. Return to Cloud and his buddies in their quest to liberate their polluted lands from the hands of the greedy Shinra.
Now then, my dear friends, henceforth our lives will begin to tie our sword.
This insane remake reinvents the popular Final Fantasy title from the ground up, completely improving the visuals and redefining the next generation of video games in the years to come. Its new and improved real-time battle system is akin to that of Final Fantasy XV. With the aid of your friends, embark on a grand JRPG adventure with breathtaking designs and a fantastic story that never gets old. It's finally coming out this March 3rd as a PlayStation 4 exclusive. Doom Eternal. Bethesda may be under fire right now, but that doesn't stop the legendary Doom guy from stomping pandemonium in his god-forsaken planet. A sequel to the 2016 reboot of the award-winning first-person shooter, there's more demon killing and eviscerating in this next chapter.
Yo, what games y'all trying to get this year, yo?
No. Critics everywhere are falling for the gentleman.
So you killed someone?
No, it was the gravity that killed.
Improving upon its predecessor's push-forward gameplay, battles remain fast-paced and exhilarating from beginning to end. The moment-to-moment gameplay oozes with satisfying demon blood and responsive controls worthy of a next-generation shooter title. It's coming out this March 20.
Hot sauce, bro.
Doom 64. Accompanying id Software's sequel to their 2016 opus is this classic gem that paved the way to the future of first-person shooter games. This Nintendo 64 title is pretty much like any other Doom.
Who actually? Cyberpunk? Dragon Ball Z? What? Final Fantasy? Okay. I'm really looking forward to that Cyberpunk and The Last of Us Part 2, yo. Like, I've been looking at a lot of these lists to see like what else. But that's to put out a little small snippet of their next Elder Scrolls title. So we're gonna see what's up with that shit. But who actually remember playing Doom, yo? Like, I remember playing that shit on the PC, yo. Like, I didn't have it, but my uncle had a PC, and he had fucking Doom on that shit back in the day, yo. I was like 13 or something. No, that shit was crazy. Like I said, that's like one of the first person shooters ever, yo.
Game. You fight hordes of demons and survive hell using your arsenal of weapons. During its time, it was hailed as one of the greatest games ever made. Before the reboot, this was
remake
the best
of Resident
version
Evil
of Doom,
3,
and
yo.
this
I did
re-release
see
will
that
open
shit
doors
too,
for
yo.
new and old fans
That
alike.
shit look hot, yo.
Think of it as a gateway back to the good old days before you get your hands on
Resident
Doom
Evil 3
Eternal.
remake.
It comes out this March 20.
Where are we?
BBS. Data Fortress. Bridge to the deep net.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh.
It's hard not to include Cyberpunk 2077 when talking about upcoming PlayStation 4 titles. CD Projekt Red's Witcher 3 was a godsend, and it's about time they experiment with the first-person genre.
This is how a player investing in solo abilities might live out their Terminator power fan.
That's the thing too, like, so The Witcher is a third person sword play game. And I don't know, man, like, everybody loved The Witcher. I swear, I tried to play this shit twice and only gotten like maybe 2 hours into it. For some reason, that shit does not pique my interest. But initially, they said that Cyberpunk was supposed to be a third-person shooter, but then they switched it up to a first-person game. But it's like, yo, how in the hell you living in this fucking futuristic cyber-ass city and shit, and you can't see your character, like the gear and the clothes he gets to wear and all that shit like that? I would rather see the whole character in a world set like that. But they're gonna make it first person, and you can only see your character doing cutscenes or different scenarios. Like, that's I wish they would have made it third person to just display the whole character in the artistic style that you can like do with the costumes and everything. I like customizing my characters.
Adding with it their knack for great RPG design, this latest IP takes you into a vast open world full of futuristic madness. Choices matter and customizations are almost limitless, giving more freedom to player decisions from beginning to end.
Abilities might live out their Terminator power fantasy.
Adding with it their knack for great RPG design, this latest IP takes you into a vast open world full of futuristic madness. Choices matter and customizations are almost limitless, giving more freedom to player decisions from big...
The customization is almost limitless, but you can't see your fucking character. They literally just showed a scene where you can pick tattoos and cybernetic chips and shit all on your face and your jacket and your t-shirt and your pants and all this shit, but then you play a game is going to be in first person. You can't see none of that shit while you're playing the game. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Like, why did they do it like that? I'm still hyped as fuck about it, but I don't know. That just seems awkward.
Beginning to end.
Now see the visual ugly. Accept it. Why? What for? You are my vessel now. You ugly. I see what you see. You what you hear.
There's not much news about this game as of the moment, but we're just glad we get to see Keanu Reeves back, and this time in a video game. It comes out this April 16, 2020. Trials of Mana. This remake of the 1995 classic JRPG that first released on the Super Famicom is having a full makeover, and it's coming out for the PlayStation 4. Fans of the Seiken Densetsu series, especially those in the West, have more reason to rejoice. Not only just a mere title, this remake has been rebuilt from the ground up to give it a full 3D makeover. Story remains unchanged, which is a good thing. New and old players will enjoy the game's
Yeah, bro, it's all my art. Only got one thing hanging in this house that's not mine, and that's a map. I got a world map hanging on the other side of this wall right here. I got a big ass fucking map, yeah. But other than that, like, everything else that's on the walls is my own shit. Fuck that.
Voice acting and visuals, as well as an upgraded battle system. And it's making a debut on Western Shores this April 24th, 2020.
You run into anything you can't handle. You come back.
The Last of Us Part 2. One of 2020's most anticipated titles, this sequel takes you to the shoes of a hardened and mature Ellie with her own ways of survival. Escape from the dangers of power-hungry humans and the mysterious clickers in a post-apocalyptic world. With more verticality at your disposal, using Ellie is far from Joel's movements in the original. This sequel will give more freedom to stealth and action. Packed with more gritty action and atmospheric backdrops, The Last of Us 2's hype is palpable despite its recent delay. Coming this May 29, 2020 as a PlayStation 4 exclusive.
Thor, Tony, check it out.
That fucking, yo, Naughty Dog be fucking Microsoft up with their exclusives, yo. Like that Drake shit, Uncharted, all that shit is PlayStation exclusive. And The Last of Us, PlayStation exclusive. Like, I kind of feel bad for Xbox players because they will never be able to experience that shit, yeah. They got a Avengers game?
At once. Try to keep up.
Marvel's Avengers. It's time for a rebirth in superhero games, and what better way to bring it back to life with Marvel's very own superpowered ensemble.
Gotta admit it, that was pretty impressive. Surprised? Ooh, cocky. I like that.
Far from the cinematic universe, this standalone action-adventure RPG aims to redefine the genre as we know it. Marvel's Avengers comes with an original story that focuses on a completely new set of characters, namely Kamala Khan, or better known as Miss Marvel. It's set years after the death of Captain America, and the Avengers are at a fallout. With an emphasis on strong co-op and RPG elements, playing together with a friend is as enjoyable as doing it alone. Work together and customize your favorite Marvel hero as it's coming this May 15th, 2020. Dying Light 2. Techland's acclaimed open-world zombie game is back with more parkour.
I did like Dying Light 1, I ain't gonna lie. I have that shit, yo. I traded in. I probably traded that shit in, but I had it at one time. I had the first Dying Light, but then, like, I only had the base game. They put in some updates and some add-ons and shit that I never got. I think I remember, like, when the game first came out, there weren't no vehicles in that shit. Like, you couldn't drive around in that shit. But then later on, they added, like, vehicles and all that shit in there. But I had stopped playing that shit by then. Dying Light 2, I don't know, man. Like, some games, that's just like the Division Part 1. Like, I kind of like the Division Part 1, but that shit wasn't good enough for me to get Part 2 to that shit. And I like Dying Light Part 1, but I don't think I'm gonna, like, be all hyped up to get Part 2 to it. I mean, it wasn't a bad game, but I don't know. Try to get finished with this goddamn hair. Oh shit. I have these motherfuckers on the charger right now. So they be good to go. Cause as soon as I get done with my hair, game time. I might go in the studio later on. Yeah. Make sure them bad boys get a good charge.
And freedom. It's been 15 years since humanity lost to the virus. Play as a young survivor who adapted to the infection. Use his newfound abilities to take advantage of the massive horde of the undead. Like the first game, the focus on stylish traversal and first-person combat remain as its core gameplay.
Sunday. On this big Sunday fun day.
You can finally move seamlessly from one place to another with ease, unlike the previous title. In this sequel, not only will you be pitted against an even more dangerous world, your choices will matter. Make decisions or sacrifices that'll impact the game's story, as it's slated for a 2020 release. Wasteland 3. The icy hell of post-apocalyptic Colorado isn't as friendly as it was before in this much-awaited installment to the Wasteland series. We've come a long way from its 1988 release. As a fan-funded project, it's never easy.
What the hell?
The party-based RPG is stepping up their game with asynchronous multiplayer, solid single-player experience, and strategic turn-based gameplay. That means whether you want a friend or not, you still get to taste the horrors and atmosphere of this frozen wasteland. Still in development, the game is slated for a 2020 release. Let's hope the wait isn't that long.
Wait a minute.
Outriders. It's
who else do they own hair or like cut their hair or whatever, yo? Okay, I got 2 sets of clippers. I got like the fucking adjustable Jones, and then the other ones for the clean shave. the liner Jones. And I'll trim my own shit, and I twist my own hair. Like I know one of my other homies, yo. You look at this motherfucker haircut, yo. That shit be looking super fresh, yo. Super fresh. Dude cut his own hair, yo. I'm like, how the hell you cut that shit so good? Nigga, like you just came from the barbershop, bro. He's like, yo, I've been cutting my own hair for so long, yo. So all you need is 2 mirrors. Get your 2 mirrors so you can see the back of your head, see what you're doing. Like, just cut that shit. Damn, boy, you got some good ass hands. This haircut be looking fucking sharp, yo. I'm telling you. And like I said, I see some other dreads that look better than mine, but my dreads look good enough. I don't need to be super, super, super pretty. I just need to be, kind of pretty. You know what I'm saying? I need to be pretty enough. Now some of these motherfuckers, they trying to be so pretty, man. They be dyeing they dread. Motherfucker got green dreads on one side and purple dreads on the other side. I don't need to be that damn pretty. Shit. I just need kind of pretty, bro. You know what I'm saying? All I need to do is for a motherfucker to look twice. Oh, like, gotcha, bitch. Come here. What's your name? I got you now. Just kind of pretty. Your dreads just got to be neat, man. That's all it is. Cause you'll get some girls that'll look at you just cause you got dreads, bro. It's something about him like, ooh, he got dreads. Don't give a fuck what this nigga look like. Don't care what he look like. This motherfucker got nice long hair. Oh, he got dreads. That's not where I keep my dreads though. I keep my dreads because I can't imagine paying $20 every other week for a motherfucker to cut my hair. I got tired of that shit. You know what? No more haircuts for me. I'm done. I'm done letting y'all motherfuckers rate me like that every week. Fuck this. $20. Man, haircuts used to be $7 when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? $7. Now motherfuckers be wanting $20, $24 for a haircut. Oh no. You know what? I let that bitch grow, man. Fuck it, bro. I just let my shit grow. And be like Uncle Snoop. Nigga, I would just have long ass hair shit. And my hair stopped growing like 2 years ago, man. My shit don't even grow no more. So it's just like, fuck it. I ain't gonna pay somebody. This is true. Somebody else said that too. Don't call them dreads. It's not a dread. It's a lock. But I can't have a hair bill. I got too many bills as it is. And to add on a hair bill, Jesus. What you doing today? Ah, shit. I gotta go pay my barber. Damn. That barber bill come around quick, ain't it? Yeah, man. You know, shit, my hair won't start growing. I'm gonna cut that bitch bald so I can have some extra time for it to grow back. They charge 20 for the little man. Dang. That's what I'm saying. Dang. I can't afford it, bro. If I had that money like that, shoot, I'd definitely let somebody do this shit for me. Until then, I'm stuck. I'm stuck handling this shit myself. I just try to do the best I can. Good thing black people don't get lice. Why I feel like I need to take a break when I be doing my hair, yo, like it's too much. It's too much like work. You know what I'm saying? This is too much like work. But this is what it takes. This is what it takes to be kind of pretty. You know? You gotta put in a couple hours a week. Nothing more, nothing less. You know what I'm saying? If you just put in a couple hours a week, you could be kind of pretty. And then you can talk shit about ugly motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't be ugly and then talk shit about ugly people. That shit don't work. But you can be kind of pretty and talk shit. Not saying that I do such a thing or partake in such childish activities, but I understand. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Slovakia? What? This nigga said I like being ugly. I like being ugly. It makes people take me more serious. You know what I'm saying? You take an ugly motherfucker serious, but you don't play around with ugly people. Ugly motherfucker beat your ass. You know what I'm saying? A pretty motherfucker scared to get his face all messed up. Ugly motherfucker, they ain't got shit to lose. Like, shit, I'm ugly anyway, nigga. What you gonna do? Hit me? Hit me, bitch. Hit me. I'll fucking kill you. I'm like, damn, calm down, bro. Take them motherfuckers serious. Yeah. You don't play around with no ugly motherfucker, bro. What Robin Harris said about fucking an ugly woman, yo? You fuck an ugly woman, you know you've been fucked. Goddamn, girl, that pussy good. Come on, I didn't know you can fuck like that, you ugly motherfucker. That shit too funny. Ugly women fuck the best. Almost done, guys. My head looking lumpy right now. You know what I'm saying? Look like I'm growing black pineapples out my shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Look like I'm part porcupine. You know what I'm saying? Shit looking like some motherfucking, some baby gremlins about to start popping out my shit, yo. Let's see. This is the metamorphosis stage right here. You gotta go through this ugly part like this, and then you turn into a beautiful black swan. Ow! Why? Where does this piece of hair go? 'Cause I'm not feeling like I just did that right shit. No. 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 You know what? Sooner or later, you're gonna be your own dread. And you're gonna have your own spot to yourself. But for right now, you're not long enough yet. Who else got long hair, yo? Anybody else got long hair? Y'all got to deal with the maintenance of having long hair. Ain't that the worst? Like, long hair, cool. That shit cool as fuck. Until you gotta wash that shit and maintain that shit, blow dry it and air puff or whatever the fuck you do with your hair, you know what I'm saying? I gotta grease and twist my shit, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like frying chicken, but not exactly. You know what I'm saying? Here's a good example. See, these were separate dreads, but not anymore. These motherfuckers gonna be one dread now, cause I said so. Ugh. Twist these bitches together. I'm getting tired of having so many of them, yo. I'm just keep doubling them up, and then I'm gonna double them up again. Like, why? It's next year, and double some more up again. Until they fat as my thumb, yo. Yo, you let your fro grow for 5 years, bro? Whoa. Let's see, with the fro, you can, I don't know, most dudes don't like braids, though. Like, I got a homeboy, he would rock a fro, but he would never braid his shit. He didn't like braids. But my other cousin, he'll do cornrows, he'll do regular braids, like box braids, then he'll blow it out and have a big ass fro. Like, he just had all different kind of hairstyles, yo. That's what I keep thinking too. Like, if I ever cut my hair, I would probably immediately grow it right back. Like, all right, that's my last haircut for the next 20 years, and just start growing my shit back different again. Like, I don't know, if I did cut it and grow it back, I would probably rock a fro for a couple years before I locked it up. And I don't know. I feel like I'm too old for braids now. I feel like my head is shaped too funny for braids anyway. I got that long football head. But maintaining this shit is a fucking bitch, yo. Sleeping with all this goddamn hair, that shit is a chore too. You gotta make sure you don't strangle yourself in the middle of the night. You know what I'm saying?
It's rare to see Square Enix make a first-person shooter game instead of their usual JRPG formula. Outriders is a 1-to-3 player drop-in, drop-out co-op shooter set in an original, dark, and desperate sci-fi universe. Not much details are known so far, but it is presented with so much gravitas by its creators. It offers a wealth of experience for the shooter genre, and we can't wait to find out more about this title when it comes out sometime this 2020.
Never heard of that one right there.
System Shock. This Kickstarter remake of the 1994 space station thriller has been announced as far back as 2015. In the 3 years of development, the developers have gone through some creative conundrums that led them to stray from their original vision. After a brief hiatus, they concluded that they want to go back to developing the game that they promised fans, which is awesome. The plan now is to keep it as close to the original as possible so that new gamers can have a taste of this classic game and old players can feel a little bit nostalgic about it. It's expected to be released in early 2020. Psychonauts 2. After a series of publishing issues, it's safe to say that Psychonauts 2 is still a go and it's coming out real soon. Thanks to the efforts of Kickstarter fans and the developers themselves, our dreams might finally come true. A much-awaited sequel, Psychonauts 2 will be following up the story of the 2005 original. The iconic Raz returns and he's taking up the helm once more as he notices something dangerous is afoot. From what we're seeing so far, it looks like it's gonna be another weird and delightful adventure, coming sometime this 2020. Tales of Arise. Bandai Namco's latest Tales game veers away from the shared universe of the previous titles. For the first time in a long time, Arise takes you into a whole new world torn apart by ideologies. Still embracing that fantasy charm, play as two characters with the same goal of uniting their divided world. This latest Tales title offers a fresh cast of characters that are as memorable as any other Tales game out there. Its improvement of the linear motion battle system is also something to look forward to. It's set to release sometime in 2020. Yakuza Like a Dragon. The long-rumored Yakuza title has a name, and its demo is currently out in the wilds for you to test out. The 8th mainline entry of the famed Yakuza series, this title is set in the near future and is considered as a soft reboot. It features new characters and a new protagonist far from the likes of Kazuma Kiryu. Gameplay is also shifting to the classic turn-based combat aside from the real-time brawler, which is a huge surprise. So far, there's not much details as of the moment, except that it's coming sometime this 2020.
Like
Watchdog.
Final Fantasy VII was the Watchdog game. Okay, I might do that one, but Final Fantasy VII was like the last turn-based game that I really played. Like after Grand Theft Auto 3 came out, like it was Sandbox, and Sandbox just made more sense. It was more realistic, and that turn-based gameplay just was like, I never liked any games like that after that. Yeah, and that's it. Like that's the classic straight backs. You know what I'm saying? Iverson made that shit famous for a long time when his popularity was high. That motherfucker used to come in with the fresh designs every time. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would get braids. But the Watch Dogs, I forgot they're gonna put Watch Dogs in London. I definitely gotta get that, yo. I like this series, yo. It's the same thing I say about fucking black chicks with blonde weave. Is like, why? Like, I don't know. Like, your natural shit should be beautiful to you. If you, I don't really get it. Honestly, I don't have anything against it, but I don't get it really. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. Honestly, I don't get why black chicks want to have blue contacts and blonde weave and all this shit. I don't understand that shit. I don't understand why some white dudes want to have dreads like your hair is it. But that's almost not true either, because hair is hair, and a lock is essentially your hair being matted together, and any hair will do that. It just would take other people longer for their hair to go through the process. It's almost like African hair wants to do that, you know. So, I mean, if you wanna have dreads, bro, just that's up to you. It started honestly as a significant cultural identification marker for the Rastafari, and it was something for their spiritual culture and what they believed in as their crown, growing their crown as their earthly crown as a king. And now it's more or less like a fashion trend, because I'm not a Rastafarian. I understand the history of the locks, but like most people don't. And I don't know, if you don't really understand the cultural aspects or the historical and heritage aspects of anything, a part of anyone's culture that's different from yours, then it's kind of like cultural appropriation if you're just taking it because it looks cool. But at the same time, I get it. But hey, I say it's up to you, man. Yeah, if I say it, but dreads is hot though. Dreads just look good. It's a hairstyle that is, it's a natural hairstyle, and they're fucking cool looking. And that's the thing, like, and I don't know, you can get some of these boy band Justin Bieber haircuts are like these man bun haircuts, and they're all exactly the same. Like, no matter how the guy looks, like, their haircuts can be exactly the same and shit. But like dreads, you'll never have dreads exactly like anybody else's, yo. It's just that shit. Your dreads are almost like a fingerprint, like, because the spiral, the pattern of your hair and the way your hair spirals on your fucking scalp is just as definitive as your fingerprint. So, like, you can cut and style your hair a certain way when it's short and cropped, but when you lock your shit, yo, everybody dreads look different, yo. Oh yeah, and that's why some Native Americans fucking had long hair. They understood that shit too. The men would grow long ponytails as well. You know what I'm saying? It was they fucking crown, yo. You know what I'm saying? They put that shit in what show that was? Game of Thrones with the Dothraki. And in their culture, it was like, you know what I'm saying, if you ever lost a battle, you got your fucking ponytail cut off. Or they chop your crown off. And you can tell who was the fucking best warriors because they had the longest fucking ponytails. Oh yeah, that's how they fucking make shrunken heads, yo. Those those little shrunken voodoo heads they used to do back in the day. All you gotta do is be precise with that scalpel, boy. Take that shit, man, and put that shit in some salts and shit and shrink that fucking skin down. We gotta take all that shit off at the same time. Just like peeling an orange in one go. This motherfucker taking a line from Dane Calloway. I'm just here to make you think. Oh yeah, no, long hair on man isn't feminine. That's why even in the courts and shit back in the day, the motherfuckers would cut their hair short, but then when they had to be active duty in the courtroom, they would put on those long ass wigs and shit, and so they would have the appearance of long hair, of alpha male dominance and authority. It's like a lion's mane, man. Lion's mane. You know what I'm saying? It's like peacock feathers. You know what I'm saying? The female peacock ain't got the big ass feathers. That be the dude. Know what I'm saying? The female lions do all the hunting, but the man lion grow the big ass long hair and shit. You know what I'm saying? Let that mane be flowing and shit. Girls, female lions don't even got that shit. You know what I'm saying? Long hair. Yep, the samurai, same thing. And samurai would get their shit chopped off too if they lost, yo. You know what I'm saying? Let me get that bun. Take that. Yeah. Kill for your pride. That's what's up. Whew. My fucking God. Can I get some assistance, please? Somebody help a brother out, man. My elbows is I'm almost done though. I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my God. I got about 6 or 7. 6 or 7 more to go. And then I'm done. Alright. What time is it? 2:30.
Oh, that's why they practice them big ass calligraphy writings all the time. That Japanese calligraphy. They get the big brush out and start swiping that shit, man. That shit just like swordplay. Alright. Yeah, that calligraphy shit, bro. Alright, so after this one, I'm gonna run in the basement real quick. And I gotta swap out shit. Gotta take that shit out the wash, put it in the dryer, take some shit and put it in the wash. What we got left up here? What was this? Oh, that's the Watch Dogs, the London edition.
Dogs Legion. After suffering from a major delay, we might have to wait a little while longer before we get our hands on Legion. Ubisoft is definitely pulling out all the stops as they expand on the idea of open world by eliminating all NPCs. That's because Watch Dogs Legion lets players take on absolutely anyone who chooses to take part in the rising revolution. Anyone can hack the planet, even a grandma. It's full of technological innovations and it promises variety in terms of experience and gameplay. It's coming sometime this 2020.
We have one rule. You don't break the masquerade.
Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines 2. A decade and a half later, this cult classic returns and we're gonna get to experience its nocturnal adventures once again. Still in the 21st century, continue your vampiric adventures and settle into the underworld gloom of nighttime Seattle. Choices still play a massive part of gameplay, and it comes out through your characters' backgrounds as well as the decisions you make in the various dialogues and interactions. Coming sometime this 2020. LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. The Skywalker Saga is finally coming to a close, and this is the perfect opportunity for LEGO to give us a much-needed rundown of George Lucas' critically acclaimed space opera alongside LEGO's quirky humor. This massive collection features all 9 Star Wars chapters, all packed into one cartridge. Relive the fascinating stories of a galaxy far, far away from Darth Vader's origin story to Kylo Ren's madness. Nothing is more satisfying than using the Force with a little bit of LEGO. Coming sometime this 2020. One Piece: Pirate Warriors 4. One of the longest running mangas in history. Return to the high seas in Koei Tecmo's Musou One Piece experience. Similar to Pirate Warriors, control numerous One Piece characters, including Luffy, Zoro, and more, as they repel a massive horde of enemies in satisfying hack-and-slash combat. This covers notable arcs from the One Piece anime instead of telling an original story. No release date yet, but it comes out sometime this 2020.
Head to the extraction point!
I'm going to tell you a story about your boss and the man who's out to destroy him.
That doesn't sound good.
I'll take it all.
Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six: Quarantine.
Oh shit,
Ubisoft's tactical shooter series is trying something different this time around.
Please, because I had Rainbow Six, the first one, and then I had Rainbow Six Vegas, and then I was so hyped about Rainbow Six Siege, and I have it, and I do not like Rainbow Six Siege, yo, for some reason. Like, I don't know, I thought it was gonna be different. I think the maps are too small. I think, I don't know, the guys who play that shit, they're good at that game, but I think it's it has a hard-ass learning curve to it. where like anyone just can't pick that shit up and play it. And the other Rainbow Sixes were fun as hell, man. The co-ops were fun. The online was fun on that shit, yo. But I don't know. I did not like Siege, so. And I was not aware that they were gonna already put out another Rainbow Six. Well, almost all these games are old now because PS4 has been out for 6 fucking years. So a lot of these games are at least 3 years old. So I guess it would be time for another Rainbow Six game.
Set several years into the future of the Rainbow Six series, Quarantine explores the team's fight against a mutating alien parasite.
What?
Although there aren't many details about the game right now, it's set to show off a brand new 3-player co-op, letting you get into gunplay and tactics with 2 other friends. It's set to release early next year. Persona 5 Scramble, The Phantom Strikers. This collaborative effort between Koei Tecmo and Atlus is a Musou title, and it's far from the usual Persona 5 hijinks we once knew. This canonical hack-and-slash adventure takes place years after the events of Persona 5, and it takes us once again to the shoes of Joker and the gang. Reforming society takes more than just stealing hearts.
Try not to make what political? I was waiting for you to. I guess that was a question. At Brother Trap. Did you know? And then you never said anything after that. What? You asked, did I know what? Yeah, you gotta watch what you're saying here, bro. Yeah, did I know the revolution would not be televised?
This piece is entitled "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised." No matter how many TVs you got, they will not broadcast the signal. The revolution will not be televised because the revolution will be an individual choice that must be made. So, no, the revolution will not be televised. We should all know this. So, all the TVs and screens will never show you the revolution. The revolution is the choice to wake the fuck up.
Action game features real-time combat with satisfying animations and a sick new soundtrack for the longtime fans. It comes out sometime this 2020. Persona 5 The Royal. 2 Persona games in a row is a blessing for PlayStation 4 users. This is the definitive edition of the Persona 5 experience. Royal enhances the way Persona 5 feels, bringing a fresh dose of content, including a new character, a new dungeon, and some added story that answers some of the game's lingering questions. Royal isn't a completely new game. The main story remains untouched, and combat has some fancy tweaks, especially for their stealth sections. All in all, it's just Persona 5, but better. It's coming out sometime this 2020. Elden Ring. Oh, Elden Ring. George R.R. Martin and From Software team up to create this dark fantasy with Nordic elements.
George R.R. Martin. Isn't that the dude who wrote fucking Game of Thrones? Somebody Google that real quick. George R.R. Martin. Who the fuck is that? Not really. I started reading one book from this young guy from Florida called Blueprint for Empowering Black Youth. But it's a lot of stuff I already know. It's like, fuck, I gotta read, like, I don't know who to read now. I guess I have to get into, like, classic philosophy of, what's the guy's name? Yeah, like I said, I started reading that book, and it's an easy read, and it's a real thin book, but like 35-40 pages into it, it's like, I've heard all this stuff, yo. I kind of know all this already. So, and other than that, I'm halfway through The Religious Case Against Belief. That's pretty good, but I don't know, I keep reading a lot of shit, like just different authors who are saying the same stuff that other authors have said a lot already. I need to find somebody with some original ideas, some new shit to read. I might need to just read like some sci-fi or some science fiction for a little while, because I've been reading a lot of non-fiction and black studies for the past couple years. I don't want to say I'm burnt out on it, and I don't want to say that I'm an expert in the field either, but a lot of the information I'm starting to come across now is stuff that I've already read and researched in previous years. So I'm still just trying to keep, some fresh content. I just ate, but I still feel hungry, yo. Khalil Gibran. What's the title of his book? Yeah, Nietzsche. That's who I need to read. Motherfuckers like that, because those are the people who the guys I listen to talk about all the time. Like, Noam Chomsky, motherfucking Lawrence Krauss. Like, everybody refers to, like, all these old philosophers, and it's like, I guess, do I need to read that shit now, since I'm caught up on everything else, basically? I don't know. I think I have some Greenlee, actually. I have some art books that I haven't read. And I have a couple of poetry books that I haven't read either. So I might take a break from nonfiction for a minute and just read some other shit. Like some poetry or some science fiction or something. I don't know. Word. Might have to pick up some of this shit, yo. I'm trying to think, what the fuck should I eat? And I just ate, though. Like, why? Why am I still hungry? You know what? I really could go for a chicken box right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. Give me some wings and fries. I might do that for dinner later. What time is it? It's only 3 o'clock, and I just ate. I might fix me some. Well, I made some chicken noodle soup the other day. That shit's still in there. I'm just eating leftovers. Sorry, the other night I had cooked some chicken and rice, and I just ate that. And then last night I cooked some chicken noodle soup. I might just have some chicken noodle soup. I like chicken, yo. Then later on I go get me some chicken and fries. Eat some more chicken. I'm gonna turn into a goddamn chicken.
We've only had one trailer so far, so there's not much info. According to reports, Elden Ring will let you play a customizable character with no defined personality. It's up to players to flesh out their history as well as the worlds. It's gonna be one of From Software's biggest games yet. Probably very early on in its development, there's no release date yet. Ghost of Tsushima. This upcoming PS4 exclusive from Sucker Punch was a scene stealer in E3, so it's hard to forget it in the list of the best titles to come to the console. Ghost of Tsushima puts us in the sandals of the titular island's last samurai, desperately fighting against the Mongol invasion in the year 1274. The atmosphere of its trailer was the most captivating part of the presentation, but its detail and combat also speaks volumes about the game's quality. We don't know much about the game as of yet, and its release in 2020 might be a stretch of the imagination, but we can't help but look forward to it anyway.
I did this Black Friday a couple months ago. You know, I did this Black Friday offer where I
That's
took
what's
my
up, yo.
programs.
The video game equivalent of the Oscar.
Get back behind the camera. Back behind the camera.
Breaking news this morning on support for democracy and freedom rising in the Middle East and Asia. In Iran, protests in the street after the country's leaders admit mistakenly shooting down a Ukrainian jetliner, killing all 176 people on board. In Taiwan...
John Trudell.
When you're in middle school, you like cars. In high school, you like cars, and so I started designing them.
Your family was very supportive of you as an artist from a young age.
Very.
Do you think that is what actually helped you get to the point where you're at now? With that extra encouragement, that extra support from like your internal sources?
Yeah, I think so. The constant encouragement of your parents just... they were happy to see me sitting and drawing and so on, and that's what I did.
And that's a thing that I always say too. I think that all humans we're just artists from nature. It's a natural tendency for us to want to create a mark. If you give a child a crayon or a marker or a color pencil, they're going to mark and try to leave something on the paper. And I think that some of us continue to make those marks throughout our life and enjoy it and have fun with it. And some of us just seem not to enjoy marking as much. And like you said, you've always been drawing.
Yeah, bro, I do art exhibits. I got my own talk show, my own artist talk show and everything, bro. I'm not just like chilling in my living room doing nothing. It may look like I just be chilling all the time doing nothing, but I get shit done, bro. I had 10 shows last year. I already got a show lined up for February, art exhibit lined up for February. I submitted some art for a statewide art contest that's coming up soon, and I have 3 or 4 new artists that are lined up for interviews for my talk show, so I get shit done, homie.
Parents just...
In Taiwan, voters are celebrating this weekend the island's pro-democracy leader winning re-election. Again, people in the streets wanting freedom and democracy. And in Hong Kong, protesters holding up the American flag as they continue to fight for freedom. Joining me right now in What It All Means for America is former White House chief strategist, host of the hit podcast, wildly successful War Room. Steve Bannon is here. Steve, it's great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. Reaction to what's taking place across the world.
Look, this is the Trump doctrine, whether it's in Hong Kong, at the ballot box in Taiwan, in the streets of Tehran. Freedom and democracy. This is what President Trump has stood up to the Chinese Communist Party, the dictators in Beijing. He stood up to the mullahs in Tehran, and now you're seeing it. You're seeing the people, whether it's at the ballot box in Hong Kong or in the protest. They just had a sweeping victory there a couple of weeks ago, a landslide victory for the Freedom and Democracy Party in Taiwan with a record turnout. And this is what the Chinese Communist Party trying to put their thumb on the scale, try to do it. In Tehran, the exact same thing. Remember, in Hong Kong and in Taipei, you're seeing the American flag. They're waving in these independence movements, these freedom movements. They've gotten President Trump, posted as President Trump as Superman or some sort of superhero. This is the Trump policy. It's ironic that this week, we're going to have the signing of the Chinese trade deal. Right. At the same time, they're going to vote to send the impeachment articles over to the House because these are inextricably linked. What President Trump did is go against the established order. The established order, the permanent political class's foreign policy was to appease these dictators, to appease Beijing, and that's why you saw the rise of China, to appease the mullahs in Iran, and that's why you saw this expansion, this expansion of Iran with Hezbollah throughout the Middle East. Donald Trump said, this is not going to happen on my watch. We're going to stop here and now. He's taken a very Churchillian stand like Churchill took in the 1930s. It's the permanent political class and the John Kerrys, the Hillary Clintons, the foreign policy establishment, the Neville Chamberlains. They were the appeasers. He stopped the appeasement. He went to economic war. In the trade deals, he did economic war with the tariffs against China. He put economic sanctions on Tehran. Economic war is winning, and the people in the street support Donald Trump.
Well, the Democrats don't see it that way, Steve. She is sending the articles for impeachment over to the Senate. We're going to have a Senate trial, and yet I can't figure out if, in fact, the president wants witnesses or doesn't want witnesses. What is this going to look like? Why is it that this freedom, this democracy, this movement in the economic growth story is not resonating on his critic?
If it were easy to make money in the stock market, everybody'd be doing it. They're not rich, and you know there's a reason why. I'm telling you, the stock market has changed my life, and I've learned some really...
Well, listen, they're not. This is why they oppose him. The established order, first off, they hate him personally, but more as importantly, they oppose his America First policies, because American First policies are resonating. Freedom and capitalism are resonating around the world, and that's what they oppose. And this is why he's continued to push this forward. Remember, when they put these articles of impeachment up, what they want to do is basically Bigfoot everything he's doing. They want to have, and this is, I think, the problem Mitch McConnell has, is that they see this kind of trial as being on C-SPAN, right, with some very tight legal arguments. I think President Trump, and the reason on Laura Ingraham the other night, he called for an expanded witness list, was he understands that the jury's not the Senate. The jury's the American people, but the audience is the world. They're watching on the streets of Taipei. They're watching in Hong Kong. They're watching in Tehran. They're watching and see if the established order can back down Donald Trump. And Donald Trump has the ability to win here. And that's why I've been calling it the trial of the century. He calls it the crime of the century. It is the crime of the century. It should be treated like that. And that's why on Laura Ingraham, he walked through the witnesses he wants. I think those witnesses have to be called.
The crime of the century, meaning that this was a coup. Kevin McCarthy was on several times over the last year, who called it the worst coup that we've seen ever in our history of our country. That's why the president called for these witnesses. Let's listen to the president on Laura Ingraham the other night in that great interview. Watch.
I'd like a trial, and I'd love to have Sleepy Joe Biden. I'd love to have his son. I call him Where's Hunter. I've changed his first name to Where's Hunter. I'd love to have the whistleblower who wrote a fake report.
Will we get there? Will we actually get all those people to testify? Because that will...
Why does dude always calling people names, though? Sleepy Joe Biden. I changed his first name to Where's Hunter? This is crazy, yo. I don't fear no trolls. That's why I'm on the stream. Trolls don't want to be on camera. They got shit to hide. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you have a large enough vocabulary, you don't need to use a profane language in my stream. I'm the only motherfucker get to curse freely and willingly in here. If you want to come in my stream, speak normal, speak plain, speak clear, and speak clean. That shit ain't hard. Too bad y'all fuckers can't curse the way I do, but hey, that's how the shit is, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to come in my stream and make comments because you can't type fuck and shit and bitch and ass, then maybe you shouldn't make comments in here.
Expose the crime of the century.
If they're making a big deal on the Democratic side, and some of these moderate senators are starting to call, and they want Bolton and Mulvaney and the emails and vote at OMB, bring them. What do they have to show? Donald Trump did nothing wrong. This is why it's just like his support of the freedom movements throughout the world. And yesterday he tweets out in Farsi to support the people in the streets of Tehran. The established order were appeasers. They appeased the Chinese Communist Party. They appeased the mullahs. He stood up to that. And he showed you in the crime of the century, we should have the whistleblower up. We should have Hunter Biden up. And we should have the gentleman Horowitz who wrote the IG report. We should have those people up there. They should testify. If you have to trade off by having John Bolton and Mick Mulvaney, who cares? What are they going to say? Right? What President Trump said at the very beginning of this, when we started our podcast, unity and substance. I did nothing wrong. This call was perfect. And I think the facts bear him out. It's one of the reasons, two reasons Nancy Pelosi slow walked this. One was to find more evidence, okay, because they didn't have it. And they're afraid the guns are going to be turned back on them for a weak case. The second was to make sure she could Bigfoot President Trump's State of the Union message. That's why she slow walked this entire thing. President Trump understands that the jury's the American people. The audience is the world. The world is watching this. That's why he has to take a hard stand, I believe.
So you want him to delay the State of the Union. I got to ask you about that because you are asking him, calling for him to make this announcement tomorrow morning. Let's take a short break. And I'm back with Steve Bannon. He is former White House chief strategist, host of the War Room podcast. You know, earlier I mentioned that comment by Kevin McCarthy where he said that we just witnessed the attempted coup to take down President Trump. It was the worst coup since Lincoln, is what he said on this program. And this is one of the reasons why you believe they're not going to stop attacking the president. You want the president to fight back.
This is a continual. This is the nullification project to nullify his presidency. And you see why. They were wrong. They are the appeasers. He's the Churchill figure. He has stood tall. That's why this is the trial of the century. It's about the crime of the century. It has to be big. This is not C-SPAN 3. This is going to be on global television. That's why I believe he has to have some of the House people like Lee Zeldin and Mark Meadows and Jim Jordan and Gates and
these guys. That's not going to happen, though.
Well, I think he's still got opportunity to do that. I think the president needs that because they need to be, these fire breathers need to be there. We can't worry about the decorum of the Senate. This is about the direction of the United States of America. It's about the peace and prosperity of the world. Donald Trump's policy is working, and this is why she slow-walked this. She invited him to do the State of the Union, and then she purposely slow-walked this because she wants in the middle of the trial, you know, and I can see the New York Times headline, under a cloud of uncertainty, Trump addresses the nation. He has to be acquitted. He will be acquitted and exonerated. That should happen, and then he should do the State of the Union because the whole world will watch this.
So you're calling on President Trump to do what? Tell Nancy Pelosi what?
Tell Nancy Pelosi, hey, tell Nancy Pelosi, when you deliver it and we have a trial, and after I'm acquitted, I'm going to come and have the State of the Union. Not until then. I'm not. President Trump's got a great.
He is going to get acquitted. Like, they're not going to remove him from office. That's the only thing. That's just like saying your problem is your opinion. Everybody has their own opinion because everybody has their own perspective. So your opinion can't be a problem. My perspective can't be a problem. It's my own subjective perspective. It's how I see shit, and that's how it is. So, I mean, their opinion can't be their problem. But you're not gonna get Trump out of office, yo. Like that little fucking phone call he did with the the president of fuck, I'm losing fucking motherfucking shit. Yo, Hazy, what's up, bro? Yeah, that's the obvious. The president of Ukraine, the Ukrainian president. This shit is all over a fucking dumbass, nut-ass phone call where he said, hey, won't you look into the Bidens for us, yo?
You're taking a long walk to get to your point. So I'm going to continue to agree with you right now. Yes, I'm streaming my art. Yes, my art is an expression of my emotions. My art is a reflection of how I see the world, or how I would like to see the world. Is the art an expression of my freedom? Maybe I have the freedom to express myself in whichever way I want to. Now, if that's what you're meaning, but my art isn't an expression of my freedom. No, because you've been free to make all these comments this whole time. And on top of that, you've been free to leave my stream at any given moment. There's nothing or no one tying you to my stream or forcing you to watch this content or listen to me or watch me do my hair or any of it. So I do not control all freedom in this stream. Do you give up some freedoms by coming into this stream? No, that's negotiable or not. But at the same time, no, I don't control all the freedom in this stream. You are free to say whatever you want within boundaries. You need to stop thoughting and start thinking. Thoughting is what get a lot of people in trouble, bro. All that thoughting, I thought this, I thought that, I thought this, I thought that, instead of trying to understand and think about shit. That's what motherfuckers always say when they get in trouble. Oh, I thought. Well, I thought you were deeper than that. No. Hey. Maybe you can start thinking. You know?
Saying no games, okay? This is all game playing by the Democrats. That's got to be brought to an end, okay? Now, they forced her this week to deliver them. That's why I think this trial, he ought to go big. He ought to demand witnesses. I think President Trump ought to demand. There's no witness on the other side of Bolton and Mulvaney. There's nothing they can say that's going to be that big a deal.
Well, they want to hear from John Bolton. John Bolton last week, why did he come out and say, yeah, I'm ready to testify?
I have no maybe to sell books. All I know is that, President Trump has to protect the office of the presidency for future presidents, as he said about executive privilege. But there's nothing about the details of this thing that'll be any big deal. Offset by the whistleblower, by Brennan, by Biden, by Hunter Biden, by the IG report. This is the crime of the century. This was an attempted coup on a sitting president. A sitting president who turned out to be right. And you know who says he's right? The kids in Tehran, the kids in Beirut that are in the streets trying to throw off Hezbollah, the kids in Hong Kong that are being gassed and taking rubber bullets, the voters in Taipei who yesterday threw out the Chinese.
Why does it matter what the fucking rest of the world says about some shit about the American president? You know who else is right? You know who else loves the president? Kids in Taiwan, the kids in Hong Kong. Who gives a fuck? Are they American citizens? Who? The kids in Beirut. And I mean, he's not gonna get impeached, but like, who gives a fuck who supports this dude right now? Motherfuckers said some dumbass shit he shouldn't have said on a fucking recorded line, like a dickhead, and he's getting hemmed up for it. but they can make it seem like, you know, it's wordplay. It's all how you put the spin on the words. They can make it sound like whatever the fuck it was, and then he can get off with just this bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, all the little shit he going through now, he can get off with that shit. Just like Clinton, that motherfucker got off on lying under oath. You know what I'm saying? How the fuck you lie under oath and still don't get removed from office? You know what I'm saying? It's just all how it's a play on words, you know? When you said sexual relations, I thought you meant like intercourse. Like, I ain't never had intercourse with that bitch, yo, but she sucked my dick. Is that sexual relations? Well, I didn't know I was lying then. I was lying. I mistakenly lied. Now, if you want to say oral sex is sexual intercourse, then yeah, I did it. You know what I'm saying? And my bag for lying under oath, because I didn't know no better. And that's how these motherfuckers get to play that shit, bro. These motherfucking lawyers and businessmen and congressmen, when they get in these situations, just like, oh, I didn't know I couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? And they just play dumb. Like, they play super dumb. And that's all Trump got to do. Like, all he got to do is go in there and say, oh, well, I said this. And yeah, but I just meant that, you know what I'm saying? And just play dumb. Like, I didn't know that, you know, every word that I say to a foreign dignitary carries so much extreme weight. I have to choose my words very carefully. I didn't know I had to do that. I was just talking, like, you know, like you talk to a guy friend, you know? It's like, yo, what's up, man? You should look into these motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? And do us a favor, you know, look into the buyer. You know, his son is over there working for you guys, right? You know what I'm saying? Don't y'all want some money from us? So, you know what I'm saying? You look into the buyer, you know what I'm saying? I make sure the transaction goes through. I didn't know I couldn't say that. I was just talking to the guy. And now y'all trying to impeach me? Oh my God, they want to impeach me. Look at this shit. Come on. Send it. Send it. Y'all gonna send it. Come on, send it. Y'all gonna let this really happen? No witnesses? Oh, y'all ain't gonna call in the whistleblower? Who the whistleblower? This little snitch ass bitch. Where he at? Bring this motherfucker in here. And then it's gonna be a little show for a while, and then some other dumb shit gonna happen, and then he not gonna get impeached. Nobody's gonna vote for the Democrats. The fucking motherfucker gonna be president until 2024. You know? All right. All right. All right. Ooh. Got them looking fresh. You know what I'm saying? Did that shit right at home by myself. Boy, I don't gotta go to no salon for that shit. My shit look crispy. What? We got them fresh locks. Yes, sir. Where my damn scrunchie at? Yeah. You know what? Fuck it. So, boy, that place looking right, son. Yes, sir. All right. That only took me 2 hours. I feel hella better now, though. I swear. Boy, feeling different when that hair fresh. This shit only lasts for like 3 days. And then it started puffing back out, looking all frizzy and shit. But for 3 days, when they nice and fresh, ooh. I feel like I need to take some selfies. Y'all don't even know how hard it be. Alright, so with the hair being done, about to wipe this grease off my hands and get ready to play some video games. Damn, yo, they pushed back all the games though. So, The Last of Us got pushed back, and that next Watch Dogs, that shit got pushed back. I say, man, why are they? I ain't gonna lie, man. I wouldn't give a damn if they don't drop none of that shit this year, man. They can just do a bunch of other like B-class studio games. I don't give a damn. I'm good with like whatever they give me on PlayStation Plus for the year, yo. You know what I'm saying? I'm good with that shit. Just hold everything until the PS5 come out, and just drop everything on the PS5. Like fuck all the big blockbuster AAA games, man. Like that motherfuckers really waiting on. Like they gonna fuck us up with that shit, yo. Cause they did that shit. That's how they got extra money out of motherfuckers for I don't know if they ain't do it with Grand Theft Auto, but I know for a fact they did it with Skyrim, and they did it with the first Last of Us. Like they put them shits out right at the end of the PS3's lifespan. The PS4 drop, and then like months into the PS4, it's like, oh, remastered Skyrim for PS4. I'm like, really? Oh, remastered fucking The Last of Us for PS4. I'm like, why the fuck did you guys do that? Y'all just should have held the fucking game and put it out instead of making people buy that shit twice. Now, I swear to God, I already know. If they're gonna put, well, because there's another option though, which I don't know. But they're either gonna put out The Last of Us Part 2 on the PS4, and then when the PS5 come out, months into that shit, they're gonna drop a remastered edition for the PS, built straight for the PS5. But they're also saying, yo, this next console might be backwards compatible all the way to PS1, yo. Like, you'll just be able to play any fucking PlayStation game on that shit, yo. And so if they do drop it on the, if they do drop that shit on the PS4, and they just, and if it's backwards compatible to the PS5, you won't have to buy a new copy of it, but will the software, will the different hardware be able to enhance like the graphics on that shit, or I'm not sure how that would really work, but so there's a chance that they are just like doing that, knowing that the new hardware is going to be able to run the old software as well. And then it's the price on that shit, yo. Like, how much this shit gonna cost, yo? That's the biggest question. Cause they're talking about all new controllers and everything again. Like the PS1, 2, and 3. Yeah, the PS1, 2, and 3, all them shits use the same controllers, didn't they? Are damn near the same controller. But I don't know. All this shit about to change over already again. Alright guys, like I said, I think I'm gonna play some fucking, I don't know. I've been playing Titanfall a whole lot lately. I've been fucking playing that shit a lot. I played a little bit of Ghost Recon Wildlands. Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And I was just like doing story missions in there. But I'm about to get on the game for a minute before I go up to the studio. I'm gonna stream this shit if you guys wanna watch. I said in Titanfall, I've been playing that shit a lot. I'm kind of okay at it now. Like I'm finally okay at playing that shit. For a minute, like I was trash at that shit. I still be having a bunch of trash ass matches, but most of the time I'm like average. I'm like an average player in that shit now, which makes it fun. Like I hate being like trashy. I'm not good at any shooters, but as long as I can be like an average player, like I don't need to be at the top of the list in kills and all that shit. I ain't want to be at the bottom of the list either. You know what I'm saying? If they like 2 or 3 guys below me on the list, I feel like I did all right. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do too bad. And so let me let's play some video games for a minute, and then we'll go paint for a little while.